Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Review. My name is David T. Allen, or Super Dave 817 if you would like. If you want to see more of this content, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Street Fighter Tuesdays series that we have been doing on Tuesdays every week for the last few weeks. Today we have a special character that is Dhalsim from Street Fighter 2. We're going to be going over that. I am David Allen, or if you like, Super Dave. Thanks for joining us today, everybody in the chat. First one out of the gate is 610 Yo Joe Daddy. Good morning, Super Dave. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining me today, this morning. So I have a little bit of cleaning up to do from last week because I forgot to mention the talk about Sagat's file card information. I didn't do that last week, so we're going to go over that today. And so before we get into Dhalsim on today's video, so it says Sagat, a Thai fighter. Date of birth 7/2/1955, height 7'4", weight 283 pounds, blood type is 0, nationality Thai, fighting style Muay Thai, alignment good and evil, both. You are not a fighter, you are a beginner. Once called king of the street fighters, Sagat reigned supreme until his defeat at the hands of humiliated as his loss he now plans to regain the title at any cost. Sagat's Muay Thai fighting style is thought to be the most powerful in the world. With the exception of M. Bison, no other fighter comes close to his overall fighting ability. At heart, an honorable man, Sagat is tortured by his loss to Ryu and will side with anyone who will give him the chance or experience needed to regain the title. Awesome attack moves include Tiger Uppercut, Tiger Fireball, Double Hit Kick, Flying Knee, Fierce Punch, High Kick, Knee Combo, and Foot Sweep. So that is the file card for Sagat and all the information on that character. And I don't know why I forgot to mention it last week, but I did. So there you go. So now let's get into Dhalsim. As I've said on previous episodes, Capcom was doing a Street Fighter movie, and they said in the movie that they should make it like G.I. Joe. And because of that, the filmmakers and the people that were working on the film said, that's a good opportunity for us to do a crossover since you wanted it to be like G.I. Joe. So Hasbro got involved, and Capcom did a series of figures in the early 90s, 93 to be exact. Capcom G.I. Joe Street Fighter crossover figures. They were all O-ring figures in the original sculpts and stuff like that. It was a really nice line. They did 12 figures in the initial run, and we've covered a whole bunch of them already. This is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our 8th figure from that line, and we already did one figure that wasn't in that line. That was actually a character that was going to be in Wave 2 that never got produced, and we showed a little bit of the artwork for that character, Fei Long. Good morning, Super Dave and 610. Good morning, Keegan Collins. Thanks for joining our Street Fighter Tuesdays series. Again, I appreciate it. So let's go into Dhalsim a little bit. Dhalsim is the yoga fighter Before we do that, there was a Street Fighter comic book that was released in the early 90s by Malibu Comics. We've kind of covered these comics already, but I wanted to showcase them. There was the very first ever Street Fighter comics, this miniseries through Malibu Comics. And it covers all your main characters, all the 12 characters that was in the Street Fighter Capcom G.I. Joe line, and a couple odd ball characters from Malibu's titles as well, like the Ferret and things like that. Um, let's see. Good morning, Sean Jones. Good morning, Joe Bros. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. All right, so back to Dhalsim. Dhalsim is a yoga fighter. Date of birth 11/22/1952. Height 6 feet. Weight 148 pounds. Blood type 0. Nationality Indian. Fighting style yoga. Alignment good. And it says, I will mediate, then destroy you. Over the course of his life, Dhalsim has sought to unify his mind, body, and soul through the discipline of yoga. Now, as he nears his goal, Dhalsim must test himself and his skills before he can rise to the higher state of consciousness. By controlling his mind and body, Dhalsim is able to extend his arms and legs great distances. However, Dhalsim's greatest skill is his patience. He knows that he does not stand a chance in a slugging match. Instead, he concentrates on using his unique abilities to keep his enemies at a distance and to slowly wear them down. While Dhalsim will do everything he can to win, he will never hurt his opponent more than necessary. Dhalsim's awesome attack moves include roundhouse fire trap, body torpedo combo, fierce fire trap, elastic limbs, head spear, body torpedo, yoga fire, and yoga nuggle. Noogle. There is Dhalsim's file card. There you can see he's from his artwork and his flag from his country. There. So then we have the vintage figure of him. Dhalsim's vintage figure. Let's see. So get him out of here. Let's see. He comes with a lot of accessories. Most of my figures, I didn't have their accessories, unless it was packaged. But this one, I do have it, because Sagat didn't have any of his accessories. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. All right, so there is your Dhalsim O-ring vintage figure. There. He's got a lot of unique attributes and detailing on him. He's got the 3 skulls there. He's got the face paint on his face. He's got those torn shorts, and then he has like the little yellow golden rings around his ankles and on his wrists as well. I was introduced to the Super Nintendo with Super Mario World and Street Fighter 2. Oh, very cool, Keegan. Yeah, I'm a little bit older, so I got to go in on Coleco and Atari, and then Nintendo in the 80s. I wasn't really into Sega that much, but we went from ColecoVision to Atari and then into the Nintendo. That was what my family got into. My little brother was an expert at that stuff, and he knew how to get into that and beat a lot of those games and stuff like that. There's also that little rope detail on his shorts there. Trying to see, there's not much else. He's got a very unique face print that looks like he's about to take a crap somewhere. He looks very like constipated in that face print. So that's funny. Um, so then he has all these accessories that came with him. He's got a bow and arrow. It looks like that's the Storm Shadow bow and arrow there. Has several different swords. This looks like the Spearhead Max sword there. And then he has this sword that looks like it's a Storm Shadow or Snake Eyes sword. Let's see. Then he has these um, a little knife, and a little scythe there. So he has a lot of accessories, and then he came with this little stand as well, purple stand. So all of his stuff was on sprue, so that's why they're all the same colors. It was all downhill after that. Yep, you're right about that. Um, so that's a really cool figure. I'm very happy to have him in my collection. So we'll put him back in here, and then we can get into the Jada one. Uh, I'm really enjoying the Jada figures a lot. And if you guys have an opportunity to find them in Walmart, I've seen in Walmart. I've seen Chun Li, Ryu, Ken in Walmart. Somebody said they just found Cammy in Walmart the other day, so I'm going to put him over there. Um, so you can find these in Walmart at pretty reasonable prices if you look. So if you're interested in the Street Fighter Jada line, you can find them at Walmart. And I'm very, very happy with this line because I love these video packages that they give them. And there's some really cool photography artwork in the back of the figure in their action poses. And then it gives us a cross sell of all the characters that we've gotten so far. So far, we've done Ryu, we've done Blanca, we've done Fei Long, Sagat, Ken, Chun Li, and now M Bison, Vega, and now we're going to do Dhalsim. So we still got a lot to go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more to go in this series, and I look forward. I think it's going to be fun. I'm enjoying these Street Fighter Tuesdays with these guys. So then there's some cool artwork on the sides as well there. So we'll get him out of the package. Let's see. One of the other things that I really enjoy is the backdrops. They have the different environment backdrops in the packaging, which is really cool to have them in their fighting arenas for that. So I like that. I think they've done some really cool stuff with this line, giving them the video game packaging and the arena backdrops and stuff like that to play around with these. And the really nice thing is the balancing that you can do with these figures, because you should be able to do all their fighting maneuvers. One of these days I'll show you some of the really cool fighting maneuvers that they can do. Like Chun Li can go on her hands and she could do that leg sweep thing, and different characters can do other crazy things. I'll do some more investigating about that. So let's see. And we'll showcase some of those maneuvers for the figures. So I'm taking him out of there. Here's his background, his arena that he comes with. Really beautiful yoga type background for him. Very nice. Let's see. Put this back here. So that's all back in there. Put that out of the way. Up there. All right. So we have Dhalsim with all of his accessories there. Looks like he has some really fun things to play around with on this figure. Um, all right. So we have the main figure. He's got the rings around his wrists there. Hey, Steven Chaser. Good morning. Welcome to Street Fighter Tuesdays. Yo, what's up? Oh, not much. Just talking about toys, having fun. Thanks for joining us. Dhalsim is great. It's too bad the Flame had to come with the deluxe set, but at least they made it. Yeah, they did. So that's another thing with the Street Fighter figures. They've been doing the version twos or the I guess you can call them the player two versions of the characters, and they have a lot of different accessories. Some of them are exclusives and stuff like that. So if you're interested in getting farther into Street Fighter and you want their player two versions, there are a lot of player two versions, and there are also angry versions. There is an angry version of Ryu, there's an angry version of Ken, there's a player two version of Dhalsim. There's also a player two version of Blanca, and I believe there's a player two version of M. Bison and Chun Li as well. So there are a bunch of player two versions and angry versions. I believe there are two versions of Akuma as well, regular and angry. So there are multiple versions of characters if you're interested in getting everything for Street Fighter. So his face on this one is a lot more stoic, a lot more yoga-esque than the other face that was on the previous vintage figure. That one looked like he was about to go to the crapper. He was holding it in and stuff like that, and it looked really weird. But this one looks much better. It does have the red paint on the head like the other one does, and white eyes and stuff like that. And he's got the little gold earrings, and he's got the skull chain like he did on the other one as well. He's got the shorts with the rope. This time the rope is a little brown. He's got the ankle things there on both ankles, and the wrist cloths on both wrists with the gold with the two bracelets there. So he's pretty good. He's a little smaller than I thought he was going to be. I thought he would be a little bit longer, but it makes sense that he's a little bit longer because he has all these arms. So these big stretchy arms that match the figure with the bracelets and the beige cloth, stuff like that. He's got two of those for him so you can stretch him out. I'm trying to figure out where those, I guess they go up in the calves, and then he has the feet that are also large as well for him to play around with, stretching his legs out there with the that cloth on them as well. So that's going to be interesting to play around with these, and they kind of make the feet look a little bit bigger on them as well. So then he has another head. a second head. He's got a more of a yelling head in line with that other head that was on the vintage one, kind of like a action head where he's yelling. There, looks pretty good. And then he has a set of additional hands as well. So these are gripping hands, so he can do some of his maneuvers with them. His gripping hands. There. And then he has a stand, which is really cool. I like the figures when they come with stands. Sometimes I don't understand where the stands are for, but he has a see-through stand and a little gripping thing that goes in there. So we'll see how that all will work. And let's see, what else do we have? We have there. All right. So let's play around with this a little bit. So as far as his articulation is, he's got the butterflied shoulders there. He's got the double pinned elbows there, double pinned knees. He's got the foot rocker articulation. He's got the thigh and the calf articulations. He's got the crotch and leg articulation in the middle there. He's got the ab crunch there. He's got the head rocker there. He's got the wrist articulation there. And so he does not have the secondary wrist or the secondary ankle. It does not look like. Yes, he does have the secondary ankle, but not the secondary wrist. So he's got most articulation points that the classified GI Joes have. So these are very, very good comparison to GI Joes. They fit very well with them, and you can do a lot of your fight scenes if you wanted to do like characters like Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, Jinx, any of your martial arts characters in maybe fighting battles with these guys, Slice and Dice, or any of the Ninja Force like Nunchuck and stuff like that. You can add them to your Street Fighter theme fighting scenes if you want. You could. They're also in comparison to like Mortal Kombat, Valaverse, Monster Force, pretty much any 6-inch line that you would like to incorporate into a Street Fighter type theme fighting tournament. You could probably do so because these are really nice. I like the bronze skin color that's on him. I think they did a really nice job with the balancing of the color with this character. He looks really distinctive and he stands out. He has that little bitty crystal on his head there as well for the that head sculpt. You can see it to give him some of his heritage from where he comes from. And so I think this is a really nice figure. So far, almost every Street Fighter figure that I've opened has been really nice. There are also some washes on this that gives him a little bit more of a 3D effect. Like the skin, there's some wash on it to give it multiple layers. There's also some washes on the clothing and stuff like that. So they really went out of their way to make him look really, really unique and original as a character. So let's see how these arms and things work. We're going to play around with this. We're going to try to pluck some of these things off. We'll see how this works. So I put that one there, took his left arm off, and so there. So I can have him punching somebody with his long arm. Doop. Yeah. And then I can have him kicking somebody with his long leg. There. Whoop. So that's really fun. I like that a lot. I think those are really cool things. And the fact that you can connect them and stuff like that. And they're a little bendy too. So if you wanted to, you could bend this. See how it bends there? It's got flexi material inside of it. So there you go, like that and like that. Um, I think that's going the extra mile on him and really giving you some extra cool effects and stuff like that. And that's one of the things with this line. They really go all out to make them feel like their fighting styles and their skills with this line, which I really really appreciate that. Jada has been doing that with the figures because not a lot of people do that. They'll give the figure and then they won't really give all their abilities. Like a lot of McFarlane figures, they don't do stuff like that. They don't go all out and give them all their attributes and stuff like that. Um, they're just redecoing a lot of figures, stuff like that. But they did that with Dhalsim. I've got to say that is a really, really cool way to imagine this character, play with this character, add him to your fighting tournaments, your own fighting tournaments and stuff like that, to give him all of his abilities. I love that. I think that's really, really nice. Um, I want to see what this stand does and see where we can go with that. Um, let's see. I'm guessing it goes in here and then it has a little bitty claw, but I don't know what this is. The problem with that's the one thing I have a problem with the package. It doesn't really tell you what to use the stand on. I wish there was a little bitty paper inside here that could give you directions as far as how to use the stand, but it doesn't. It doesn't really say. And on the side, it tells you where they're from too. County of origin, India, fighting style, yoga. And that's pretty cool on every one of these packages where they're from. But it doesn't tell you how to use their stands. Last time, thankfully, somebody in the chat helped me find out how to use Sagat's stand. But it does not tell you how to use the stands on these. So I don't know. I'm wondering if it's like this, you put it in the leg or something like that, or because it's not wide enough to go in the waist. So it's got to go on the foot somehow. I'm guessing where he can jump up and do something. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have him jump up and but that doesn't look good either, does it? Nah, I don't like that. So I'm not sure what to do with this stand. We'll figure it out. Um, but overall, this is a really, really cool figure. I may have to do some research as far as the stands and Google some of that and see where that goes. But he's a really nice figure. He's a welcome added figure to my collection, and I'm very, very happy about that. Um, So I hope you guys are able to get some of these Street Fighter 2 figures at Walmart's or through Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. They're well worth it um, if you're into Street Fighter and all that. So, all right. So let's see what else do we got. I got some new stuff in the other day. I got another Haya figure. I got my Haya Spirit came in. Really cool. This is my favorite Joe. Spirit is my favorite Cobras. You guys know are Tomax and Samot, but my favorite Joe is Spirit because he's Native American and I'm Native American, and I love that representation. And this is a really really nice version of him. It comes with freedom. It has some little stands and backpacks and alternate wings, alternate hands, a really nice sniper rifle, and there's some washes and some cool knee pads and everything. And it looks really, really nice. I think they did a really good job. I love that artwork on the package as well. It looks really, really good. Then there's some photography with him in the back there in the renders and stuff like that for him. He's an added figure to my Haya growing Haya collection, and I look forward to getting more Haya figures and continuing this line as much as possible. I'm pretty sure I'll never have all the Haya figures. Keegan Collins 6202. Who makes these versions of Joe's? Haya. Hiya. And they're a Chinese company that makes GI Joes, which is very interesting in and of itself. But they do a lot of really cool stuff. Right now, they're doing a really nice Godzilla line of figures. They've done Aliens, they've done Predator, they've done Judge Dredd. They've done a lot of stuff, but they've been making these for a while. I'm up to like 20 or so figures so far from Haya. I'm gonna probably end up missing at least a couple. I'm still trying to find the Storm Shadow and the Cobra Commander that came out, the first two. They're going for a lot of money on the aftermarket, so I missed those two because I couldn't find them in the U.S. And then they also have exclusives at conventions over in China and Japan. And they did a Pimp Daddy Destro that was with a Halliburton and the whole 9 yards. And I missed that as well. So I don't know if I'll have every one of these figures. Maybe down the road I will in the future. But right now I'm incomplete. I've got to find Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow. No, Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, I guess. No, I have Cobra Commander. It's Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, I guess, are the ones that I'm missing. I'm getting myself confused. And then that Destro, of course. But it is, and it says on the package, exquisite mini G.I. Joe Spirit Iron Knife. And it is exquisite, I must say. It's worth it to have. And then I was able to get this through Amazon. I don't know if a lot of you guys have it already. The Action Soldier. I got 2 Action Soldiers the other day. This is a weird one because I was looking for Hasbro Pulse to put it up, but they have yet to put it up on their website. So someone told me that Amazon had it. So I went to Amazon like Sunday night, like 1:30 Sunday night, like Monday morning, and it arrived within like 6 hours. It arrived like at 11:30 that morning, and I was shocked that I got my 2 Action Soldiers. That's the first time I've ordered something outside of Pulse, Target, or Walmart, and it came like faster than anything else. So I was a little stunned by that. And he is really, really nice. He's got a lot of really cool stuff that's included with him, different shamaks and face heads and hats with the beret and helmets and different cool equipment. He's got lots of gear, weapons, and all kinds of stuff in there. Backpacks, his um, his dog tags and everything. He looks really, really nice. And that artwork is beautiful, and the back artwork is really beautiful too. If you're really into Legacy, I recommend getting multiples of this one because there's a lot to use on this figure that you could do different photography and diorama stuff with. And he's got that really cool face print camouflage on him as well. Very cool figure for that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about my cups bulletproof. I don't know if I've talked about this that much, but it came in damaged, right? I got it a couple weeks ago and it came in damaged. And I was kind of disappointed. This was ripped here, and then when you open it up, it was separated. The book part here was all separated down and it was broken apart. And then there was also a rip in this corner down here. And so I was really disappointed because I really wanted a mint one, but they sent a no, I've never opened any of the higher figures up. Keegan Collins, sorry. I've been keeping them in the packages. So I got I had the opportunity at the Toylanta this weekend to go to that show, and I knew that Big Bad Toy Store was going to be there. So I thought, and let me take a chance. And on a lark, I brought this with me to talk to them about the situation. And they had a stack of these at the show. And so I went up to one of the managers there and I said, "Hey, I ordered this Bulletproof Cops through your store, your Big Bad Toy Store, and it came three different places, was damaged on the package. And I was wondering if you would be willing to swap it out for a brand new one." And they were like, "Absolutely, definitely, bring it in, and we would definitely swap that out." And so they did. They swapped it out and they made sure I got a good, nice one. And I got to pick the one that I wanted. And they took the old one and I showed them all the damage. They're like, "We are so sorry about that." And I asked them about why that was damaged. And they said it's probably the people that are shipping and packing. They didn't really pay attention when they grabbed it that there was a damaged one in there. And so it got shipped out, and they said they apologized for that, and they're very glad to replace it and make me happy. I did get a little bit of information on cops from them. They said that they wanted to sell through Bulletproof a little bit more before they put up the next one, Long Arm and Bad. Dr. Bad Vibes, which are both the next ones you can see on the package. Long Arm is next, and then Dr. Bad Vibes will be after that. And I hope they said they want to get through all cops. They would love to continue doing that line because they love cops. That's why they got the license. But they have to make sure they have a better sell through. So they were trying to sell them through at the convention. And they had a lot there, and it was selling through. I was only there till Saturday night. So hopefully more people bought them. But this is a really beautiful figure in and of itself. And I'm not sure if I talked about it that much. There's like a little comic book. And the comic book looks like it's done by Bart Sears, who was the comic book artist on the vintage Cops Bulletproof and the comics and the toy line as well. So he's a really, really cool artist. I'm glad they got him back to do the art for this. Keegan Collins, that's cool. They made it right. Yep. I think that's really cool that they made it right. That's good stuff. VBTS making it right. Yeah, it is. And it makes me want to support them more. The fact that they wanted to make sure a customer had a good product in hand and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give props to Big Bad Toy Store for that. So this is really cool. He's got his coat down there. He's got a gun. He's got a stand. He's got an additional head. He's got additional hands. It looks just like the figure from the 90s. I guess it was late 80s, early 90s, 89, 90, 91. And Cops was always one of my favorite lines. And they were like O-ring, but they were bigger O-rings. So there's the artwork on the front there. And it looks just like Bart Sears' artwork. Bulletproof. And then I think I've read off this file card and stuff before. And then some more artwork there. And then on the top, Cops. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that and give them some props for that because not everybody would do that. I don't think, I'm not sure if McFarlane would do that or NECA would do that, but I'm very, very happy that the Big Bad Workshop, Big Bad Toy Store did that for me. I really appreciate that, and it's going to make me want to purchase things from them in the future. So I'm very, very happy about that. So if you have an opportunity to purchase from them, I recommend it. Obviously, they're going to take care of you if something happens. And the weird thing was the shipping box was perfect. It was the figure inside, and that's why I was a little surprised. And that's why I asked them why something like that could happen or how something like that could happen. And that's why they told me they come like that sometimes, and the people that are packing and stuff should look at it before they ship it out. And that's why I got a damaged one. I remember watching Cops every afternoon after school. Yeah, it's a very unique cartoon. It's a fun cartoon. I really enjoyed it. I loved a lot of the voice actors that did the voices, and it had a really cool theme song and beginning credits. And they've got a lot of really cool characters. This line went for quite a while. there's about I would say 50 figures in the entire line, tons of vehicles, accessories. It was a very long running line, cops. So the vintage figures go for some money. I would like to go back and get some of the vintage ones, given the time and opportunity. They had a bunch at Toylanta, and I was tempted to try and get some, but I just didn't have the money, so I didn't do it. But I would love to do that at some point in the future. Um, so what else? Oh, I also got this from Skeletron, the newest Skeletron figure that was revealed on full force on Monday, last Monday, a week from today. And this is a beautiful figure. It's the Red Shadows Assault Trooper. And I'm very happy they're getting into more Action Force type stuff with Skeletron. This is a great, great figure. Had a very catchy intro. Yes, Keegan Collins, you're right. And then, so are they actually going to make some of the 3 3/4 figures? I don't think so. I don't think so. GI Joe Delta 66 Delta 17. They're doing them in a 6-inch scale, like GI Joe. Um, if you look at him and you look at like this guy here, they're all 6-inch scale. So they were about 6-inch scale in the vintage as well. So they're the same as the GI Joes. So you can tell they're the same. So there you go. Um, let's see. Hey, Gunpowder Nitro. Not much. Just talking about toys and having fun. Thanks for joining us again this morning. We did our Street Fighter Tuesdays figure was Dhalsim. I also read off the file card for Sagat that I forgot to read off last week, and I'm showcasing some new stuff that I got in over the week at Toylanta. I thought you guys would like to see. So they've done some really cool stuff already. Look at all the stuff that they've done. They've done the Blood Wolf, the variant Blood Wolf, the Wolf Trooper, the Skeledrones, Skeletron, Jungle Wolf Trooper, Geyer Wolf, Assault Trooper. So I got to get a Skeletron number 4, and I think that is it. That is the only one that I need. Yeah, that's. I've got to figure out how to get a Skele, that one to go with my collection. I don't have that one yet. So we have a little bit of news on the Senflo Joe show. Let's see. That's a real bummer. If they don't make the 3 3/4, Super 7 is making the 3 3/4. So you would think Street Fighter would release those figures again. Yeah, it would be cool if they did, but it's just a matter of who has the license. I know Jada has the main license for 6-inch, but I know Hasbro got the movie license. So we're going to be getting some movie Street Fighter through Hasbro, and they'll be 6-inch as well. 610 66 Delta 17. Well, I hope they release some 1/18 scale Street Fighter figures to go with the Super 7 GI Joes, or maybe Super 7 can make them. Yeah, maybe, you never know. Someday, to wait and see. Super 7 is making a Tiger Force Wild Bill. Yep, they are. That's true. That's some of the news that I forgot to cover yesterday. That it was revealed that there's a new Tiger Force Wild Bill to go along with the Tiger Force Snake Eyes that'll probably be in the future. When they release those waves, there's always a chase variant with those waves. So that new wave that's the USA wave, the 4 figures through Walmart, the Wild Bill will probably be with that. And then the previous wave that just came out, where we had Flash and we had the Hydra Viper from the Action Force variant, Chuckles and Dana, that had the Snake Eyes Tiger Force was the variant for that wave. So now we're going to get another variant with Wild Bill. So I look forward to getting all those at some point. So a little bit of news with the Senflo Joe show. We've had a change one of our guests had to cancel due to a conflict, a scheduling conflict. So we still have Mark Pennington. We still have Jason Mark Sobel. We still have Matt LaCroix. We still have Roger Taft. We still have Hawk Saunders. We still have the finest. But Adam Riches ended up having to cancel due to a conflict with his schedule. So we replaced Adam Riches with another comic book artist that has worked on Transformers through Skybound and other means. His name is Craven Ravenwolf. He is going to be the replacement artist that will take over the spot for Adam Riches on this at the Senflow Joe show on April 19th in Deltona at the center at Deltona. So I hope you guys can still make it to the show if you're in the southern Florida, southern Alabama, or I should say southern Georgia, southern Alabama, anywhere in Florida, and you want to come on vacation and have a really nice time at a Joe experience, please join us at the Scent Flow Joe show. There'll be tons of vendors, tons of activities. We're going to have a coloring contest that's sponsored by Skeletron, and we'll have a prize for that. We'll also have a raffle. We'll have a prize for that. We also have the G.I. Joe video game that we'll be playing from the 90s, the early 90s video game. We'll have a setup for people to play that game. So there'll be a bunch of different activities for people to do. Hang out with the finest costuming organization, get pictures there, and then talk to all of our guests about all the G.I. Joe and Transformers content that they're all working on and have done in the past, and get sketches and buy vintage toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Motu, Thundercats, Silverhawks, Mask, you name it. G.I. Joe, all vintage toys from the 80s, 70s, and 90s, and vintage comics as well. So if you're missing some cool G.I. Joe comics and you want to fill in some of your holes, you'll have your opportunity there. Let's see. Sunflow Joe Show. Yep, you got it. Nitro. So there you go. So that is the Sunflow Joe Show. So we've got a couple other things going on that I wanted to cover with you guys real quick. So we have a Pulse stream tomorrow, Wednesday, April 1st. It is at 11 a.m. Eastern on Hasbro's YouTube channel at 11 a.m. And then probably some pre-orders will be released at 1 p.m. Through Hasbro Pulse, and where you buy all your fine toys are sold for Hasbro Premium members on Hasbro, and 2 o'clock p.m. where fine toys are sold, and everywhere else on Pulse as well. And then in Pacific time would be 10 a.m., I guess. So there you go. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. The Tiger for Snake Eyes is going to be impossible to get. Maybe you can tell Brian Flynn to get it on his site, because it would keep selling out again if he had another run made for online buyers. Probably you're right. But I would suggest going to your Targets, because I find most of those at Target. I do not pre-order a lot of those Tiger Force figures. I've bought, I think, one Python Patrol Cobra Commander through their website out of all those. Duke I got at the store. Serpentor I got at the store. Who else did I get at the store? I've been getting most of those at the stores. So try checking your Targets out. G.I. Joe 66 Delta 17. And maybe down the road they will put it on their store. You never know. So we know that there's going to be some pre-orders. There's probably also going to be some new render reveals. There's probably going to be some only reveals as well. So we're looking at maybe six items that'll be showed off in that Pulse, based on what we know. The Destro and the Despoiler, Iron Grenadiers, the next retro line, which is Wild Bill, Techno Viper, and Grunt. Vintage Grunt, probably the The Taurus Red Dog will be pre-orderable there. Maybe they'll put up the Action Soldier might be on there as well, even though it's already pre-ordered everywhere else. Maybe the Arctic 3-pack. They may show the Ramp Rats off, but they're probably not going to put it up for pre-order. It'll probably be later in April for the pre-order on that. What else? Trying to think of what else we have that hasn't been pre-ordered yet. The Snake Eyes Environment, the Stealth Viper, and the 788 Trouble Boat will be later in May, from what I understand on that. So I think that's everything, unless I'm missing something. 610 Yojo Daddy, let me know if I'm missing something. Oh, you don't have targets in Canada or any other country outside of the US. Oh, I'm sorry, 66 Delta 17. I apologize about that. Sometimes a lot of those variants go up on Walmart.com. So that might be a way to look. Keep an eye on Walmart.com. I bought a lot of Super 7 stuff that way as well. Clement, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Hello again. Georgia 6 Delta 17. We don't have Target stores in Canada. Yeah, I saw. Thank you. Hasbro should remake the retro 2-packs for the 6-inch line and the 3 3/4 line again. I don't know. They're not doing O-rings for them, so I don't know. I still can't believe that y'all know who's coming in the Ninja Force 2-pack and don't want to tell us. Keegan Collins, well, it's a matter of trying to keep standards for this type of stuff. So we don't want to ruin our contacts. We don't want to ruin our opportunity to get information. So we have to be very, very careful. But you can figure it out, Keegan Collins. Not that figure out what Ninja Force character could be with Chabang. And I bet that name only gets revealed at that Pulse stream tomorrow. I'm almost 100% positive that they're going to reveal that, because that character is going to be with Chabang in that 2-pack, which is a Target exclusive Night Force 2-pack. And it'll probably be around Target Summer Geek Out, around New York, around San Diego Comic-Con. So they're going to probably want to get that out there. So when that starts popping up, they'll probably show it off at Yojo June in June, most likely. That's my gut feeling on it, but I don't know. Wish we could. Hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. I was stoked when everyone was saying Dojo. It's not Dojo. Dojo might be in the one in the fall, because there's another Street Fighter, another Ninja Force 2-pack coming in the fall, and it is another 2 figures. And I would not be surprised if Dojo and somebody else from that is in that line, and we'll probably get that name only revealed during summer New York Comic-Con. Will probably get revealed that. So you can look at the patterns of how these things go. They leak the name close to when they're going to get the reveal of the render, and then the render comes out, then the figure gets showed off in person, and so on. So you have to follow the pattern of this stuff, Keegan Collins. It's not personal or anything. It's just we have to be careful, because if we give too much information, then we get in trouble, and our sources will not trust us. So there you go. But it's not that difficult to figure out. Let's hope for a hardball name reveal. Yes, Stephen Chaser. I would absolutely love that. Me and you and Woody 222. We all want a hardball. All the parts, everything is there for a hardball figure. But I know it's not part of the next 5-figure wave, because I already know what that 5-figure wave is, and I've talked about it many times. So maybe we will get it when they reveal the next 5-figure wave in the summer around New York Comic-Con, possibly there, or maybe in the next wave in the fall, possibly in the 5-figure wave. But it's an easy figure to do, because all the parts are there. They have the hat, they have the Gatling gun, they have the jersey, Jersey buck. They have tons of different fatigue legs. All they would have to do is deco the skin tone. I think it would be an easy figure to make. I'm just thinking they're just dragging out figures from all these different eras, like they did with last year, where they did Night Viper and Lifeline, and then this next last wave they did Airtight and Hydra Viper, and so maybe we'll get in the future. I know there's for vintage character, there's Iceberg, and then there's Mistress Armada, Toxel Viper, and then there's a Rugged Duke and an unnamed Cobra, brand new Cobra character that's going to be probably opposite of Sundown. So they're doing that. So that's the next 5-figure wave. So you can kind of figure this out. So I'm guessing in June, when they do San Diego Comic-Con, that it's going to be an older character, maybe a Flash or a Grand Slam, maybe a newer character like a Muskrat or Hardball or Cobra or something like that. And the same thing in the next batch. And then we'll get a modern character like Mistress Armada is more of a 2000s character. A brand new character like the Cobra is a brand new character from scratch. Then a comic book character like Rugged Duke. So maybe we'll get another comic book character like Baroness, Good Baroness, or Risk, or maybe Malto or Sherlock as comic book characters, or maybe Long Range and RC for the new characters that were revealed, possibly in comic book characters. And then will we get an early 90s character, a late 80s character, an early vintage character, and stuff like that. So you can kind of play around with that pattern and figure out who you might be getting and play around with it a little bit like that for a hardball. But I want a hardball. I think it's an easy figure to make. And so there you go. I'd love to see Dojo, but I will go ahead and say we know Dojo is in neither of the 2-packs. Well, there you go. That tells you who's not in that next 2-pack. So I'm guessing maybe a Night Creeper or Snake Eyes Ninja Force. I don't see who else could be in that, or somebody like maybe what other Night Force figures, Steven Chaser, that I'm missing? Who's the guy that's like all white with teal and he's got those big, like, weird horns? What's that guy's name? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's all good, my brother. I like surprises. That's fine. That's good. Have a good attitude. I like that, Keegan Collins. I'm ready for the hardball classic character. Just no word on him yet. There you go. I thought they were doing Bushido, reusing a lot of gear from Budo. Well, that would be it. Bushido. That's the character I was thinking of. That's all white, and he's more of an Arctic ninja, and he's got teal, and he's got those. That would be a really good reuse of Budo. So I like that, Keegan Collins. I think that would be excellent reuse of a character like that. But who else do you have for Ninja Force? You have Night Creepers version 2. Or the Night Creeper leader. You got Snake Eyes, Bushido. So there you go. There's some options for that 2-pack. So it's not going to be Dojo. So maybe Dojo will be next year sometime. They'll keep the Night Force, the Street Fighter, the Ninja Force going into 2027, possibly. So that's been fun. So keep an eye out on the Pulse stream tomorrow. I'm going to do a live tomorrow at some point to talk about all this stuff that gets revealed and stuff at the Hasbro Pulse stream. So keep an eye on my socials if you want to learn more about this stuff and get involved. And maybe I'll have a guest on to talk through some of this stuff with me. So thank you all in the chat. My voice is hoarse because I've been talking so much. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, everybody, after the fact, watching on the replay crew. You guys are great, and it helps this algorithm keep us on the forefront of the channel and on YouTube, I mean. And so thanks again. And this was a cool Street Fighter figure. So we're going to go with KO. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you all in the next one.